welcome to the Wibbly Wobbly Timey-Wimey podcast.
I'm Talia Franks, media critic, fanfic enthusiast, and I want to reign in hell.
And I'm Lucia Kelly, expert at applied analysis, and love is the only mission. Idiot.
And we're here today for a Wibbly Wobbly Minisode.
Today we're talking about Flux, Chapter 3, Once Upon Time, which aired on the 14th of November 2021. It was written by Chris Chibnall and directed by Azure Salim.
Reminder that time isn't a straight line. It can twist into any shape, and as such, this is a fully spoiled podcast. We might bring things in from later in the show, the comics, the books, the audio dramas, or even fan theories and articles.
With that out of the way, does everything have to be a discussion? Go on, in.
I'll have you know that everything does have to be a discussion. Thank you.
I mean, that's why we're here. Everything is discussion, and we're going to discuss it in depth.
Yeah, and also the doctor should just talk to Yaz.
Oh my god.
Yaz
deserves to know. Dan deserves to know, honestly. Like, I'm sorry.
Dan deserves nothing.
All right. The IMDb synopsis for this episode is: the Doctor and her companions are scattered throughout time and their own lives. Only the Doctor can find them with the Mori's help. Meanwhile, the Ravagers, Swarm and Azure have captured all of time in their passengers, and the Doctor must convince the Mori to help her release the hostages without understanding the cause of it all.
Okay, this is the one. Everyone is lost in the sauce. Lost in the time stream, and we end up wanting to sue Chris Chibnall for emotional damages.
I am this close. I am this close, Talia, to just booking a flight to the UK and just demanding answers. What the heck?
Demand an audience with Chris Chibnall.
What are you doing? What's the scope here? What's the plan? What's going on? Also, how dare he introduce love lost, time scattered, like tragedy, like lovers in tragedy, like what the, with an unborn kid? With an unborn kid, Chris Chibnall? How dare you? How dare you?
Can we just talk about how badass Belle is, that took down an entire Cybermen squadron while pregnant?
She's so badass. She's so cool. I love her so much.
And then she read that Cyberman for complete filth.
There is a reason that it was her quote that I took for today. She's the best. She's so cool.
There's also a reason that I took Swarm's quote, which is, I don't like to stand a villain. Like, he's like, he and Azure are like the worst, but they also got style. They got flair. They got swagger. I appreciate it.
It is undeniable. They just, the way that, like, can you imagine being in those suits? It would just change the way you walk.
Mm-hmm. And also, I gotta say, I like this Swarm specifically. The other Swarm that we saw like in the past. Also, Ruth Doctor is back. Oh my god.
So exciting. Oh my gosh, the scene where it's constantly switching between 13th Doctor and Ruth Doctor, I had chills. They both did so well. It was so well acted. It's everything I could have ever asked for.
Yeah, it's so great, especially because it embodies the fact that the Doctor is always the Doctor. Like, no matter which Doctor it is, like, there's something about the Doctor that's just intrinsically the same.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I was really I was really fascinated by the idea that the Doctor always has companions. Like the Doctor is always the leader. And I was really curious about the two people that Yaz and Vinder were, because we know that Dan was Kavanista, but who was Yaz and Vinder?
Right? I have a sneaking suspicion. Or maybe it's more of a hope. I have a sneaking hope that maybe Vinder was Vinder. Like that's actually standard. That Vinder is Vinder in the like. I mean, we're really going to be living up to our title this episode because time was wibbly wobbly. It was all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, I was also hoping that Vinder was Vinder. Like, I just love Vinder with my whole heart. Why did they leave Homeboy on a deserted planet by himself? Like, they didn't even give him some rations. Like, give him some food. Like, leave him a tent.
I understand that we need to leave him behind because we can't keep him for the whole season because, like, he's only signed up for so many episodes. But, like, that ending made no sense. You would not do that. You would not do that. Ever, not once.
You would absolutely not do that. That is not okay.
Also, like, I don't know. I feel like the Doctor would, like, either make sure that they found Belle together or be like, she's clearly not here, bro. Like, come with us and explore the universe with us together and we'll find her.
If she invited fucking Dan Lewis on the TARDIS, why did she not invite Vinder? Like, the fuck?
It's because Jacob Anderson is booked and busy and, like, was not available. That's why, okay? It's because he's too good. It's because they managed to get a stunning actor with a stunning character and we're like, ooh, we can't actually fulfill what we have promised. That's why.
They can't afford him.
They can't afford him. He's too good for them. You know, he knows his value. That's what's happened, okay? That's why. Let's talk about this episode. It's going to be hard. This episode was all over the place. I adored it, but that's me. Like, I understand that as a standalone episode, structurally, like, everything about it is pretty garbage. I get that. But all of the tiny little vignettes were so good and entertaining and just exactly what I want out of a story that I did not care. So
yeah, I thought, I thought it was great. I thought it was a romp. I was having a good time. I don't even care that structurally it might not have been as coherent an episode. I was along for a ride. Like Nicole on Tarbis was saying, like, this is just how my mind works. Like, this is just how I roll. This is just how I think. And so I really enjoyed all the moving parts and everything going on. I thought it was so cool how the Doctor was in multiple places at once and was navigating multiple things at once, because I was like, because the Doctor can sort of split herself into multiple people and be in multiple timelines. And I loved how she was just like sort of splicing herself into different places.
Mm.
Also, what is going on with the angels? Also, and the Daleks came back and the Cybermen were back. And I just, there's so much.
the angel stuff was so good this episode. Oh, the way this entire episode was directed was gorgeous. Very, very different from Jamie Magnus Stone. It's a very different visual language, but it worked really well. I'm particularly interested by the fact that the Doctor's POV was so kind of blurred, and like there was an element of unreality to it almost. But and like the title cards and everything was a
The title cards were giving me Star Wars.
yeah. And also the fact that they weren't quite
A lot of this episode was giving me Star Wars. Like Bell scenes felt were very Star Wars to me.
Yeah.
Like it was very, like the shooty, the blasters. I also was thinking about this episode. Who was that woman that just showed up at the end and was reading the Doctor for Filth again? Also, I guess the Doctor wants to know more about her past, but she does not need to treat Yaz like this. She like it's not okay. It's
not. Yeah, no. There are so many. The Doctor is falling fast, and it's not good. Yaz is gonna snap at one point. Like, I'm waiting for it. Yaz is just gonna be like, because I was thinking about it as I was thinking about the previous 2 episodes as well. The Doctor seems to be in this strange position where I don't like rule one is often define your relationship. And I don't think that the Doctor has done that. Like not only not had that conversation, but like internally, I don't think she's figured that out yet about what. It's very interesting that, like, thinking back to how we've been watching 9 and 10, like 9 and 10 are both very like they're almost clingy with their companions, right? Like they are all up in that space, and
Gross.
there's very little boundary, right? And very little boundary setting, which we have talked about ad nauseum about the problems that causes. But the 13th Doctor seems to be like kind of the opposite of that. She's set these very clear boundaries sort of internally, but hasn't defined them. So there are all these sort of, like when she interrupted Yaz by saying like, well, haven't I taken you to all these amazing places? It's like, yeah, but like, are you friends or are you a tour guide, right? Like you are simultaneously demanding a different relationship while pulling away from that same relationship. So like,
yeah, and I think the other thing this is definitely building on a lot of character work that was done in the first 2 seasons. And I feel like people give season 11 and season 12 a lot of crap. But they did do a lot to build up the Doctor and like Yaz was not done. Yaz was done dirty by seasons 11 and 12. But I still feel like she was built up in seasons 11 and 12 to this point. And I feel like the progression of 13 and Yaz's relationship to this point is something that has been building. Like 13 has always been someone who's been super open while being super closed off. Like she didn't even tell her companions that she was a Time Lord. She didn't even say the words Time Lord or the words Gallifrey until the beginning of season 12, like until the end of the second episode of season 12. She did not tell them nothing. Like she's been so closed off. So like she's basically been putting on a front this entire time, and we're finally starting to see that crack open, and I am fascinated as we're starting to see the doctor crack open, because had this hard shell on her this entire time, and now it's finally breaking through and we can see what's underneath, and I'm just so excited for that.
Yeah, I've been seeing, like, particularly early on, I saw a lot of criticism of how people were not, people were not a fan of how the doctor's like sort of chirpy personality, because they were associating it with the fact that it was the first woman doctor. And they were like, how come we've gone back to this, like, we're all friends, we're all family, when it's a woman, and all this kind of bullshit, without like taking it that next step further of like the fact that we have now gotten to this point where we are seeing how much, like, that is such a, this whole arc is such a good exploration of the different layers that femme presenting people have to put on in order to just be perceived and be taken seriously and to be recognized as a person. So the fact that the first layer of the doctor we see is this very chirpy, happy, bubbly person, and then the further we get on and the more strain she's under, the more we're seeing all of the different layers. Like, that's not cheap writing, that's doing the work. That is exactly what you should be writing the first female doctor as.
Definitely.
But we're very, very nearly out of time. So I just want to very briefly mention, Vinder knew what a TARDIS was.
Yup.
So,
He knew what a TARDIS was.
He knew what a TARDIS was.
He looked in and he was like, is this a TARDIS?
That was his first question.
He didn't say, is it bigger on the inside? He said, is this a TARDIS? That was his first question. That was the first thing he said.
Well, his very first question was, what? With the most excited little, like, kid in a candy store, pilot in the best ship in the universe, like, grin. Yeah. Which,
and he's like, can I pilot it? And he's like,
I hope they let him. I hope that just once, just let him.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It needs to be piloted by at least 6 people. You've only got 4 in there.
Dan can't do shit.
I was struck by the fact that we got competent Dan in this episode.
We don't have time to talk about Dan.
I would like to see more. That is all I'm going to say.
Come on, let's talk about the fabulous foul to funky.
Okay. I mean, fabulous.
Yeah, fabulous.
It's fabulous. I don't care.
It's so good. It's so good.
This is a feel-good fabulous. This is the trashy romance novel that you give 5 stars because you were glowing at the end of it. Like, it doesn't matter that none of it made sense. It doesn't matter that the structure was garbage. It doesn't matter that the sentences were like all over the place. You felt good watching it. It was a 5-star experience. And therefore it is fabulous.
This has been the Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey podcast.
We hope you enjoyed this adventure with us through space and time.
You can find us elsewhere on the internet on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram as @WibblyPod. Follow us for more Wibbly Wobbly content.
You can find out more information about us and our content on wibblywobblytimey-wimey.net and full transcripts for episodes at wibblywobblytimey-wimey.net/transcripts.
If you'd like to get in touch, you can send us an email at wibblywobblytimey-wimeypod@gmail.com.
Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and other platforms, as it helps other people find us and our content.
Special thanks to our editor, Owen Elphick, who has been a vital member of the Wibbly Wobbly team.
That's all for now. Catch you in the time vortex.